Well, it's sketching time. I'll, I'm going to have sort of a screen of trees in the foreground, as I'd mentioned, some vertical trunks of a design of sort, and then I'm going to. I still like the feeling of a bit of a being led off into the bush a little bit, rather than just sort of a wallpaper of bush behind trees. So it won't be something that goes way off into the distance. There won't be any distant horizon, but you know, it'll help. I'm wanting the eye to still be led off into the painting somehow. So I'm going to bear that in mind. I'm going to start by putting in, you know, what some might call a horizon line. It's not really. You know, in this painting, the horizon would likely be up here, but we'll never see it because there's bush in the way. So there will be sort of a flat area going in, and then it'll start to, you know, we'll have a few trunks in the distance, or the middle ground, really middle distance, and where those trunks start to come up, we'll establish the base of where those trunks are going to start to come up, where you sort of come up against a sort of a second wall, as it were, but you can look in between the trees. So, and I want that to be, I think, a little more than halfway down. What do we have? That and that. Oh, that's almost exactly halfway down. So we'll go. No, you know what? That looks about right to me. Let me just switch hands here. Okay. We'll get a bit of a line going there. Oop. This would be easy, but I don't want to have too dark a line. Just an indicator. That line is almost all going to be obliterated. But, okay, so I'm going to want a bit of a group on the left here, bit of a group on the right. Definitely don't want symmetry. We want variety. So let's see. That's about. Okay, we'll put something in. I think. Nope, that's a little too. In my mind's eye, that's really not. That's neither here nor there. I think I'd like something around here. We'll start with a bit of a thinner one. And then a bit of a space. I think this will be probably the thickest one. Then something in between. That one will be a little bit thinner yet. And we'll have a branch coming off there, I think, maybe a couple. Something running off the painting anyway. Maybe something in that direction. Okay. Now I do not want telephone poles in the foreground. I would much prefer tree trunks. So get a little bit of irregularity on them. I think I would like a branch coming off of there. And also something coming off in this direction. Okay. Make that a curve. Okay. That is the left-hand side of the frame of the window. Now, focal area I want a little bit right of center. I think we'll put a trunk in here. Not quite as heavy as the first one. This one's at a bit of an angle, off to the right. And I think we'll have another one pretty close to it. But it's going to stay quite parallel with the edge of the painting. All right. I think a branch coming off here, maybe something smaller there, a few old broken off bits. I want to make that one irregular as well. And something here, but not at the same angle as this one. We want to come out, I think, a little broader. These two may be a little symmetrical. I'm not too worried about This one's a little higher than this one, a little thicker. I think there's enough difference there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like that enough. I'm going to get rid of that one. I think I'll just shorten it. Get rid of that one. That's awfully straight. But again, yeah, it's just, see, I'm starting to fiddle already and I'm just working on charcoal. I shouldn't get too fussy about that stuff. Not yet. Da, 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 da. I don't know here. Maybe just a thin vertical here. Yeah, okay. I'm playing now. All right. I just, you know, if it's going to be in the focal area, I tend to really like to put tree trunks in pairs sometimes. You probably notice that I'm backing up constantly while I'm doing this. And I have to, because it's a larger canvas. And if I don't back up, I won't be able to see what I'm doing. probably gonna start looking like a bit of a mess to you again. That's okay, you know I'm messy. Okay, these two are simply not well placed. They are quite important. Let's see if we can't get a branch coming off that one. Maybe that one. Maybe a bit of a crooked one there. Something in front of that. Dropping that line down a little. I like very intense light in here, and I want it to tone down in both directions here, and I want the bottom to become quite a bit darker. Even, I think I'm going to have some light catching the tree trunks, or a few of them, on the high end, but I'll go darker as we work our way down the trunk as well. So I'd like something to close this off to some degree. It could be just a lack of sunlight. I think I'd like some kind of an article of design in here. And you know, that's actually another thing I hadn't thought about just now, but these trees are going to have some remnants of leaves on them. That will be good for a start. Bit of foliage there. Some leaves in front, some leaves behind each trunk. Okay, I want something else. I've done this before on other paintings. I think I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to put a bush here. That can go down, leaves can go here. Some kind of young, misshapen evergreen. How about that? Above this line will go lighter, below this line will go darker. In the middle distance, in the immediate foreground, we will have this being quite dark and these different leaf shapes being quite dark. That will close this window, well, close, you know, the frame in the bottom of it. Just sort of shaping the treetops here a little bit. Getting pretty messy, eh? You know, partly it's obvious, maybe what I'm doing, and partly it's not so obvious. But me being the painter, I'm kind of the person who has to have, you know, in my mind's eye what I'm going to do. And the same goes for you. You know, you're dropping yourself little suggestions and little hints all the way through. Some you get rid of, some you keep, some you develop a little bit. Okay, I think I'll have a little bit of foliage up here too. This could probably use a happy leaf or two. A little bit here to break up all this light area, and you know, that's a bit too disorganized and a bit much. It's going to be a pretty dirty bit of charcoal sketch here before it gets cleaned up. Okay, that'll do. Okay. Again, bits of foliage. Little bits of foliage. I like adding these little bits of foliage because in a lot of places it helps to break up these strong vertical lines, you know, and even with your foliage, you don't just put it in randomly. What I'm hoping for here is a bit of a flow to it, okay? The dark, the foliage will be quite dark, coming across like this, dropping down, hooking up with this tree, and then carrying on here. So we have sort of a rhythm going across the bottom, a rhythm in design. And then we have, you know, a few sporadic leaves here and there that will help to balance things off. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it for now. It's becoming quite a jumble of charcoal lines. What I'm going to do is block in some dark. That'll help to organize the view. It'll help me to see it, and it'll help you to see it. Talk to you soon.